In Chapter 13 of Attempt 13 of my FE6 Meh Units Only Ironman, we enter the Messier Peninsula to help the revolutionaries of the Eturian army defend themselves against Byrne's forces, and the Eturians forced to support Byrne's advance due to their king being captured by Zephiel. We arrive just as Narcian routs the revolutionaries and is being stalled out by Cecilia in the keep. The map itself is one of the largest maps in the game, featuring two prominent bridges in the north and south, separated by a large body of water in the center. This map also starts having strong mixed compositions with magical units, ballistae, cavalry, wyverns, and healers dotted around the map, with some particularly nasty reinforcements that I will go over shortly. There are technically two new recruitments on this map as well, but both are banned units. The first being Percival, who is an extremely strong paladin for this point in the game, located near the far eastern section of the northern bridge. Thankfully, he is a passive enemy for 8 turns before he leaves. You can recruit him with Laloum and save his compatriots to earn a Knight's Crest, but the risk is too high for a team comp with no mobility. The good news is that he will show up in a future chapter with the same rewards later. That's way less of a pain to deal with. The second recruit is Guinevere's personal Wyvern Knight, Milady, who joins the army wherever Roy is on turn 3. Her stats are outrageous and earn her the title as the best unit in the game, if not a contender for one of the best units you can get in any Fire Emblem game. We of course cannot use her, but she is necessary for recruiting Zeus later, both of which will be necessary to get access to the final Gaiden chapter, Chapter 21X. And even though this chapter can be quite difficult, you can make your life much simpler by just defending your starting position from the advancing enemies, while a stronger unit like Boars solos the cavalry crew to the north. Once these initial forces are dealt with, we will spend 2 hours of our very short lives waiting for the dangerous reinforcements to spawn on turn 8. These reinforcements include 4 cavalry with killer lances, axe reavers, javelins, and steel lances, supported by a heel staff troubadour and led by a silver lance paladin. Basically, a souped up version of what we faced in Chapter 7. These forces will first show up to the northwest, with a second set to the southwest on turn 12, with one more rotation happening on turn 16 and 20. These forces don't sound too bad to deal with, but most people learning this game would aggressively push one of the bridges, allowing for the forces from the east to join the fray while these cavalry pincer them in the back, resulting in armies needing at least 4 frontline units to block choke points, while making enough space to avoid wyverns from running down your squishier units. This forces us to take the much safer approach of turtling. I also learned something valuable for future playthroughs if this attempt fails. There is no reason for me to deploy Raig, as I never used him for any combat in this chapter. It would have been much better to bring Wade instead, so Lot could use the support bonus to completely negate the small crit percentages he constantly faced. It may seem irrelevant, but as we know from our good friend OJ, cumulative small chances can have a major impact. After 2 long hours of stalling, my army slowly advances towards the southern bridge, clearing out the ballistae and breaking ground on the eastern front, which has a hero and 2 mercenaries for Wendy to grind down. Aside from the hero, she actually has a good matchup into these guys. I am so proud of our little Wendy moving up in the world. We then push north towards the cavalry that immediately crit a lot, but due to his good bulk, he comes out of it fine. But as you see, small chances, they can happen. I also forget about one of the cavalry carrying a killing edge, but Boars cares not for your puny rust-colored armaments. With only a few stragglers left, and the boss, I take this time to offload all our treasures at the nearby shops and restock on basic staves, tomes, and killer weapons. I would have liked to have more spare capital for an upcoming secret shop, but something has to give when we lose out on 15,000 gold in raw item value from Chapter 11. We then deal with the Wyvern Lord and are introduced to our last must-deploy unit, Sophia. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see just how amazing this unit is until next chapter, and since this took over 50 turns to complete, we will only have one chapter this episode. Have a great week, everybody.